Tubman that most Americans have grown up knowing is the woman who rescued people on the Underground Railroad. And that story is magnificent and is what made her famous, but it is actually just a small part of her whole life. She may not have gone to a schoolhouse, but her classroom was the landscapes of her childhood. And she was an incredibly bright child who learned a lot and gained literacies as an astronomer, reading the night sky. That was a literacy. She could read the forest and the fields and the water. And then as a leader during the Civil War, as a soldier, after she escaped slavery and was conducting people away along the Underground Railroad, she met people in Boston, some powerful abolitionists of the day, and she impressed them with her great courage and intelligence. And the governor of Massachusetts, John Andrew, was particularly taken by her. And when the war started, he made arrangements for her to go to South Carolina to work as a soldier and a spy. And then after the war, as a woman suffragist and a fighter for civil rights and caring for the elderly, she was an amazing humanitarian, and her life just speaks to so much that we as Americans admire.
In recognition of Harriet Tubman's bicentennial, Ms. Magazine created a special platform. It's a special issue called the Tubman 200. And there you will be able to find a history timeline to learn about her life, various essays from a series of articles that Ms. Magazine has been publishing from February 1st and culminating through March 10th, which is the anniversary date of Tubman's passing. Because Harriet Tubman is so celebrated, oftentimes that means her life gets simplified. She's usually an icon or even a mythic superhero in some people's imaginations. With the Tubman 200 site, we actually get to explore her as a fully embodied human being, a full woman.
You cannot talk about Aunt Harriet without talking about her faith and her relationship with God, because it was an intimate one, and that's what it grew into. And that's what allowed her to be able to do what she did. It was her faith that just overwhelmed me. It helped me tremendously. And that's when she became not just my ancestor, but I felt like it was somebody that I knew personally.
When we learn about Harriet Tubman, we all learn about the head injury that she received when she was 13 years old. But somehow translating that into a permanent disability gets lost in the retelling of her story. Because she was such a powerful figure, people just let that drop by the wayside, which is a great tragedy, because she did live with a disability every single day. She could have a seizure, not know when it was going to happen. She could live with debilitating headaches. The people just watched her have the seizures, and then she'd get up and continue on. There was no debate like, well, I'm not going to follow her because she has seizures. It was just part of her. They accepted it and followed her. There are so many things that we can learn from her and her story.
2022 is a turning point because we are equal parts in terms of the number of years that we practice slavery in this country, as well as the same number of years that we practice democracy as an independent nation. We really are on that precipice of moving forward or moving backwards. And it reminds me so much of Harriet Tubman herself, because she was forever on the crossroads, always crossing borders between slave South, free North, US and Canada, between respectability and resistance, between righteousness and trickery. She had to do it all. Because of that, I see her as serving as a bridge. She was either born in late February or early March. So that means that she can be claimed both for Black History Month and Women's History Month. And here is Harriet Tubman providing us with a guide on how you can self-liberate, not only to self-liberate, but to liberate others.
She, as a woman, a real person, has been overlooked. And I think now that's changing, and it's really very exciting. We're starting to give her the true, deep respect that she deserves.
She was an ordinary person that did extraordinary things.